Well, Sydney has been battening down for days, watching the approaching rain bomb on radar and preparing for the worst. But today, the intense weather system that devastated the state's north began to weaken. At the height of the emergency, 500,000 people were put on evacuation warnings. There has been flooding on Sydney's outskirts and a number of rescues. But the city has largely avoided a disaster of the scale of last year's floods. We have reporters across the state tonight with the latest. First to Amy Greenbank at Windsor. Amy, the worst of the weather does appear to be over.
It appears so, Juanita. The flood emergency across the city is starting to ease, and that's because rivers are slowly subsiding across much of Sydney, but not everywhere. We're here in Windsor, and as you can tell behind me, the Richmond River is still very swollen. It hasn't yet reached its major flood peak. That's due later tonight, so residents here have a few more hours to wait before they can breathe easy. In a rescue too dangerous for a boat, a mother and her children were winched to safety from their flooded home. It's one of hundreds of rescues that have taken place across low-lying parts of Sydney's west. Hundreds of thousands have been told to leave their homes, many in the dead of night.
It's not much sleep. Got up every couple of hours checking the water level, and 5 o'clock come, it was at the back fence.
If you fall asleep, you could wake up with water in your room, so it's a bit scary.
Last year, Jesse's house was inundated. This time around, the water stopped in his backyard. His daughter Chloe spent the day making new friends.
They're very cute.
Along with frogs, animals of all sizes have been on the move.
I've got 2 cats, so just went up to Kermond, went to higher ground basically, and just slept in the car last night. So.
A severe weather warning for the city has been cancelled. Rainfall totals have been downgraded. But for many here, the damage is done, less than a year on from the last flood.
It's the 3rd year in a row, so it's, you just get over cleaning up from last time.
Yeah, it's just becoming all too often, mate.
As the day wore on, rivers peaked and began to subside.
We can't get anywhere else just past that bit.
There's nothing you can do except get everything off the floor and just wait for the nature to take its course.
The spill from Warragamba Dam has slowed. Outflows are expected to be well below 2021 levels, but evacuation orders remain in place for more than 40 suburbs.
Those instructions are not there for the sake of it. They're there to keep you and your family safe.
In Windsor, the Hawkesbury is about to peak. When this bridge into the centre of town was replaced in 2020, locals were told it could withstand historic floods. This is the 2nd time it's gone under in 2 years. The weather has caused disruptions to supply chains. At the supermarket, sausages and toilet paper are hard to come by. Locals are dreading what's to come when the water recedes.
It's just the mud that it leaves. The clean-up mud and mully is just an ongoing job for weeks and weeks.
My nephew summed it up yesterday when I checked in on him, and he said he just wants 1 year where it's just normal. No bushfires, no floods, no COVID, no war.
Surely a unanimous sentiment. Amy Greenbank, ABC News, Windsor.
Further north, the Central Coast and Hunter Valley also escaped the worst of it. Heavy rain did fall, but a break in the weather this afternoon came as a big relief. Ben Millington is at the entrance. Ben, how wet did it get?
Well, the story is significantly improved here on the Central Coast. There's even been a bit of sunshine lately, but yeah, as you mentioned, a very different picture earlier in the day, where I think it's fair to say that anxiety levels were really high. People very worried that we'd be hit by this East Coast low, particularly here in this Tuggerah Lakes area, because this lake was expected to rise to a major flood level. The boat hire shop behind me was inundated with water, but much worse was expected. That led to evacuation orders being put in place this morning, and many people, particularly those most vulnerable, heeded those orders. Let's take a listen.
I am worried about this one because they reckon it's worse than the others. It's going to be bigger. So I'm not going to stay over there.
We've put everything up high that we can at home, put all the valuables in the car, shipped the kids off to school with someone who can get them there. Got my dog and a guinea pig somewhere else.
It must be noted that that evacuation order here is still in place. That's because this lake is still rising, but the major warning level has been downgraded to a moderate level of 1.3 metres, and that has the potential to impact around half a dozen properties. Juanita?
Ben Millington reporting there.